In a world of disappointing video game movies, Castlevania, a series, is here to save the day.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening!
What is up, Netflix fans? Welcome back to my channel. Castlevania, the final season, premieres on Netflix tomorrow. I want to say thank you to Netflix for providing me this screener for review, and we're going to talk about it spoiler-free. No worries, it's going to be tough, but I'm not going to dive into anything specific in this video, but I do want to talk about why I believe this season is a satisfying conclusion. Let's do it. All right, in this epic final season, everything is collapsing into chaos as factions clash. Some are attempting to take control, others are attempting to bring Dracula back from the dead. Nobody is who they seem, and nobody can be trusted. These are the end times. Castlevania, you have the classic video game. It is an anime series. You're essentially mixing and meshing all of these different stylizations and genres and art styles into a series that so far has been extremely satisfying. I know everyone wasn't on board entirely with Season 3, but in my opinion, it still brought us a lot of good things. Now, once Dracula went bye-bye, not a spoiler for this season, of course, there was this hesitation of, okay, we have some really great characters surrounding him, but where are they going to go from here? And in Season 3, they did the old trope of separating our heroes and taking them on their own journeys. A lot of those journeys in which I enjoyed, but, you know, I did kind of miss everyone or most of them being in one central location. Now, in this fourth season, there's still a lot going on. Numerous storylines, numerous characters, but of course, our focus is going to be our main trio. Trevor and Sypha, of course, broke apart from Alucard in Season 3, and that's how we start out in Season 4, on their own adventure, except I truly believe that they're sprinkling in way more action throughout the episodes this time around. There are only 2 episodes out of the 10 that I can think of where there maybe wasn't as much action, but in that case, that's a good time to bring us character development, and I believe they were able to do that not only for our main 3, but for a lot of characters surrounding them. I'll get into kind of the villainous side of things here in just a second, but in terms of what they were able to do with that action, just starting out, I mean, off the bat, in Episode 1, we see Trevor and Sypha taking on all kinds of different baddies. And it's kind of the opposite last season, right? Last season, we started out with Alucard kind of doing the action-heavy stuff, whereas the other 2, we were just getting a bit of character development. This time around, lots of action on this side, yet Alucard is undergoing some very specific character development that maybe even I didn't expect. Alucard is kind of being pulled towards humanity, right? We get that eventual reunion, that's not a spoiler, but what he's kind of going through emotionally in this season was very interesting. Again, it was unexpected, so I don't know if everyone's going to be on board, but he's such a great character to be able to flesh out. I'm glad they were able to do that this time around and give the other 2 the opportunity to go up against these beasts, these creatures, and provide for, again, some extremely entertaining and visually wonderful action sequences. I can't talk enough about how incredible the art style, the animation is this time around. The music, the score, what we love about the series, maybe not my favorite of the 4 seasons, but still really good. It's much more subtle. One thing I love about this season is the fact that it never loses its way in terms of developing and fleshing out each individual character, and it stays consistent with the other seasons. Sometimes in anime and animation, we see characters change for the worse, and some things don't really add up at the end of the day, but there isn't really one character I could point at and say, well, that arc didn't make an entire amount of sense. No, the arcs here are really, really good, and then we go to Carmilla, and we're trying to understand what her goals, her ambitions are here. She's reflecting on the past. She's understanding that this path that she has taken maybe wasn't one that rubbed everyone in the right way. But then we start to understand what path she is on currently, this idea of conquest, pushing back against those who have made the world, in her opinion, a worse place, and her vision makes for a better world, but that is at the expense of humanity. So you're understanding her perspective, you understand her anger to a degree, but because she has that anger, she's kind of, she's going on to take everybody out in her path. So she makes for a really interesting villain this season. But what is a good villain without some incredible action scenes? And whereas we were watching her in Season 2 kind of bully people, we're not watching her bully people this time around. We're watching her just take people and rip them apart. I mean, she is full on conquest in this season. It's incredible to watch. She is tearing people limb from limb, and she is getting some of the more intense action scenes. And they have not lowered the intensity, the brutality of the show. No. That is very consistent in season 4. And like I said, there's even more action to go around this time around. And then we have Isaac, who is going through all sorts of development in this season, going past his anger, getting past the idea of revenge, and growing into someone that maybe not everyone is anticipating. And again, that comes down to the unpredictability of this season. Satisfying in terms of a conclusion, unpredictable in terms of story arcs, antagonists and protagonists alike. And again, there are a lot of them, but they get the resolution that I think fans deserve. Now, not every resolution is going to be good. Some characters, and I won't spoil who, of course, are going to meet their demise. But at the end of the day, I believe across the board, you're looking at a lot of satisfying character arcs and conclusion. And again, you mix that with what we love about Castlevania and the idea of setting up a few things that are going to hopefully inevitably spin off into some other shows down the line. We know that this isn't the end for Castlevania in terms of the world itself. We've heard that they're creating some spin-off series and some ideas that are going to carry over into other things. We just know that Castlevania itself is coming to an end with this season. So we had to have some conclusions there that made sense and worked really well. And again, in my opinion, you're going to get a lot of farewells, but they're going to be well warranted at the end of the day. Isaac, Carmilla, Sypha, Alucard, Trevor, Belmont, and of course, the voices behind all of these characters in Richard Armitage, in James Callis, in Alejandra Reynoso. Everyone is fantastic, and it is absolutely a show that I will come back to for years to come. I'm glad it gave me such a satisfying conclusion, and I am so pumped for you guys to watch this season. Let me know down below if you'd like me to talk spoilers in another video. Austin, what about criticisms? Again, there's those 2 episodes that maybe got a little bit long in the tooth at times, and maybe the score wasn't as epic this time around. Maybe still kind of missing that lack of Dracula. I don't have too much to complain about because Castlevania is consistent, and that consistency has indeed carried over into season 4, one of the better seasons of the show. I've got to go an 85%. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I can't wait to see what happens with this world. What are we going to spin off into? What is our next show in this universe? This anime style works extremely well. So that's me getting you all excited, hopefully, for season 4. Once you watch it, come back here and let me know your thoughts. And again, support this video. Drop your thumbs up if you'd like me to talk more Castlevania. Maybe even do some kind of ranking for the seasons, all 4 of them. Okay, come back tonight. More reviews to come. I'll see you soon.